Hi, I'm Hannah, and this is Wonderful World of Teaching. Today I'm sharing how to make the most of your Credential program, what I wish I knew as a student teacher. So I was going through some of my things, and that's what spurred on this video. Is I found some of my old thank you notes from the classes that I worked in as a student teacher. So in my Credential program, we had to have 2 student teaching experiences. So it's a whole year because you do a semester in one grade level and a semester in another. So I'd have lower grade level experience and upper. I chose 3rd grade as my first teaching experience, and it was actually at a school that I had never worked at. I had done some teacher observations and had to go to schools, but this was a school I wasn't familiar with, but it was recommended to me because the mentor teacher had won Teacher of the Year, and so it was also a school that had a real high population of students with lower income, and so that experience was different from the other school districts I was working in, which had a higher income. So I was very excited about this opportunity, new school, new experiences, and being able to work with the Teacher of the Year. Like, that sounded amazing. And so my first teaching experience, I go in, I'm full of energy, I'm very excited, and I could tell that energy probably wasn't going to land well in this school. It was just, teachers seemed to be on the edge of burning out. They're ready to be done. They were tired of working with kids. And I say that, but it was rough. Like, I remember one of the other teachers had said, "This is embarrassing" to a student. And I was just like, oh my gosh, like, you're crushing their dreams, like who they are. Like, I can't believe you're doing that. So I came from the very, and I still am, let's love our students. Let's give them everything that they need and tell them ahead of time what we expect. So this teaching style was very different. It was, do this or you're going to get in trouble, and I just had a really hard time with that. Also, I don't think that the teacher actually trusted me very much in that. I spent most of my mornings, I would go to the classroom early, show up because I wanted to make an impact. I wanted to do my best and be very professional, and I would clean up the room and set up the room. That was kind of part of my task, which it's not fun, but that's actually what you do as a teacher. You have to set up the classroom. So that was something that I did. The other thing that was my responsibility was working with Tier 2 and 3 readers, which really felt out of my lane. I had no idea how to be teaching students, let alone students that are struggling with reading in 3rd grade. I did not understand how to do that, and even still, teaching reading swings so much. So during that time, it was a lot of the 3 cueing method, kind of talking about reading strategies, and so that school, you kind of had to follow a script. So that's just what I did, and I was hopeful that this was going to work. Deep in my heart, I knew it wasn't working. I could just tell. And I remember when I finally left that, because it was rough. Like, I remember just being in tears some of the days. The teacher just wasn't very encouraging, didn't give positive feedback. Like, I didn't know what I was doing well. When I left that student teaching experience, I was very disheartened. And I remember them leaving, and one of the teacher aides had shared, if you make a mistake on the board, never tell the students. And I was like, what? Like, if I'm making a mistake and I don't own it and I'm just teaching them something incorrectly? That aside, my second teaching experience was wonderful, and it was amazing, and I ended up getting hired at that school years later. But something that I learned through my student teaching experience it is a time to learn. I definitely did, while that first student teaching experience was crushing, and I think I cried more during that than I actually did as a teacher. And I was pregnant my first year, so imagine that. but it did teach me that, you know, you're gonna go into these hard situations as a teacher. The aspect of being a teacher that doesn't always get the glory, the kudos, you're doing an amazing job. And that's what I was looking for in a mentor. But in reality, teaching is like that. Teaching doesn't have positive feedback constantly throughout the day. And so if you are starting student teaching, or if you're in your credential program, what I would kind of have a vision for student teaching is an opportunity to learn. It's not a time for you to share, you know, this is how I'm going to be a teacher, this is my teaching style. It's a time to kind of be very humble, follow what they're asking you to do, even if you don't like doing it, because in reality, there's still a few ways you can sprinkle in your personality, even if you have to follow a teaching script. But remain professional, stay positive as you can. I'm cheering you on. I know it's a difficult season, but always say good morning to the office staff, thank them, thank the teachers around you, even if it's hard and challenging, because it's an opportunity to network, and that may be where you start subbing. It might be a long-term sub-assignment. It could lead to your first teaching job, and that's sometimes the truth. We don't always get our dream teaching job right away or grade level, and so during your student teaching, just observe, take it in, make notes and journal if it's a rough season, so that you can reflect on, okay, these are the things I learned, and maybe this is the teaching style that I don't love and don't want to use. So with that, like I said, I'm cheering you on if you're a student teacher. Share below what grade level you are interested in, or if you're currently a student teacher, what grade level you are student teaching in, and I'd love to cheer you on. You can like, subscribe, and share this with anyone else that's in a similar situation, and I'll see you at the next one.